Well, good morning, everyone. I wanted to thank everybody for being here. Hi, Charlie. Good to see you. It's been a while. I wanted to thank everybody for being here, braving the rain and wonderful Michigan weather. But this is very important, and I'm glad that you're all here. This is very important for a lot of reasons, because this is a problem. These machines are a problem. The people operating them are a problem. And we saw what these problems can result in. They've resulted in the death of young, beautiful Thomas. After Thomas, this happened again in the United States, down in the Southwest, where somebody was also killed by one of these machines. Today we announce the filing of a lawsuit that has been filed in the Oakland County Circuit Court. It was filed this morning. The complaint lists off a number of defendants. There's Seacrest Industries. They're the manufacturer of the machine. Obviously, Oxford Hyperbaric Oxygen Therapy Center and some of the other names that it goes by, as well as the 4 individuals that we know about that have been subject of criminal charges, as well as the location being Office Ventures Troy 1 LLC is also a defendant in this case. The complaint has 8 allegations as to different defendants. There are claims of negligence, claims of breach of implied warranty, express warranty, failure to warn, premises liability, negligent hiring, training, and supervision. Folks, this was absolutely preventable, and this should never have happened. The absence of any and all warnings should have all of us very, very concerned, because the placement of warnings, the use of warnings by all defendants in this case is crucial to understanding how and why this happens. See, the industry knows that these machines can turn into literally a firebomb in an instant. But yet, there isn't even one sticker. There isn't even one warning that's provided. And we've all heard about the text messages and the communications by the owner of this Oxford facility that would say things like, anything that gets somebody in a chamber. Let's advertise for things that this machine hasn't even been approved, or we don't even know if it works. And then they conduct their own experiments to do this without the wrist strap, the grounding strap, to see how far they can push the limits. Folks, this is absolutely unacceptable. And Thomas's family is without Thomas because of this. So it is our hope that the criminal process does what it's supposed to do and brings them to justice. And it's our hope with this case that we're able to get justice for Thomas's family, as well as invoke change in this entire industry. And it's no small feat. It's going to take a lot of work. We've assembled one of the largest legal teams within our office that we've ever assembled on any case. We've had people working for months on this. And before we brought this case that we filed today, because recall, this happened back in January, and so time has passed since then. We haven't been sitting around. We've been working extremely hard. We've hired multiple experts. We are actually successful to get the facility padlocked through a court order so that nobody could go in and tamper with the evidence. We then got a court order to allow our experts, our lawyers and our team, as well as the other side's experts and lawyers, and we have taken possession of the chamber that Thomas was in. We have taken possession of one of their other chambers, and they have been effectively shut down from doing business. And our experts did an extensive investigation and have given us some preliminary opinions, and that serves the basis for the lawsuit that we filed. Now, there's still a lot of work to do, because we know that the prosecution has asked questions of some of these employees, and we've seen that, and what they've said, and that the one employee who has given concern about some of the safety protocols that they would go through, and that person was fired. But here's the thing, we also get to ask questions, not now, but soon. We'll be asking questions, sworn testimony through depositions, through that process. I'm sure we're going to be in court getting evidence that they don't want to turn over, such as cell phone records, such as other electronically stored information on their servers. And this probably won't be the last time that all of us meet, because as I get the evidence, I will be providing it to you. We will give you the video once we get it, and we don't have that yet. And we don't have a lot of the evidence because the criminal process is going, and sometimes there can be some difficulty in getting that evidence as the criminal process is going. But we will provide that to you. These machines, they were designed and manufactured without fire suppression. They were designed and manufactured without any type of deluge system, which is a water system that can help extinguish a fire. There were no automatic fire detection systems. There was no effective emergency extraction system, which would have been helpful because you know Thomas's mother was severely burned while Thomas was burning alive, trying to get him out. There were no warnings regarding fire and explosion hazards. There were no warnings regarding any prohibitive items to be brought in. There were no warnings regarding electrical hazards, no warnings regarding lack of emergency extraction system, and no warnings that there were no fire suppression. And really the list goes on. These things are designed and manufactured and sold and used for the sole purpose of profits, to get bodies in, bodies out, and get the next body in and next body out and take the money. And that's not acceptable with me, and I hope it's not acceptable with all of you. It's going to take time to get all of the truth here. I don't think they're going to want to give it to us willingly. I don't think they're just going to turn over the evidence. But we are committed to getting answers and committed to making this place a safer place. So, beside me, to my left and to my right, are photographs that I don't believe that you have seen. The two photographs to my left are pictures of the inside of the chamber, showing the significant fire damage that was done when the chamber ignited and began to burn Thomas. To my left is a picture of the gurney where young Thomas was. He was right here. There's a close-up photograph next to me. You can see where his body laid and all of the burn marks that were around. And then, of course, you can see Thomas to my left. I hope everybody by now has been provided. We gave all of these pictures to you. You have a copy of the complaint. And at this time, I'll open up the floor for questions.
You talked about waiting to get, or attempting to get the video of this tragedy. How does the criminal proceedings help or hurt, with it taking place now in December, back up again? How does that help or hurt the civil case?
Sure. The means of getting these videos when there is a criminal proceeding is very difficult, especially under the Freedom of Information Request Act. One of the exceptions to providing that is when there's an ongoing criminal investigation or prosecution, and that's what we're dealing with. Now that we have filed the lawsuit, we have what's called subpoena power. Subpoena power is much stronger, and plus there are certain discovery rules that allow us to get this. So it's my hope that relatively soon, I can't give you an exact time, but relatively soon, we will have that video as well as a mountain of other evidence. Gino had his hand up.
So there's a momentary pause for preliminary examination, but during those 2 days, is there anything that you learned that you couldn't get access to that ultimately your firm decided to pull the trigger on the lawsuit?
Not really. I mean, it was, you know, the employee who, you know, reported the safety concerns, you know, is helpful. It's a helpful insight. I don't believe that she's the only one. I think when you have a company like this that's running as loose and as dangerous, you know, other people hopefully have spoke up, and we would urge them to come forward. But no, I mean, there wasn't something that came up during that we didn't know. Now, I know that there's continued proceedings that are taking place later this year. I believe in early December are the next hearing dates. But now that we are up and running on the civil suit, we'll be proceeding on our own track and doing discovery and issuing subpoenas as soon as we are able to do so. Yes, Charlie?
You've got a lot here against the manufacturer. Do you think that what the manufacturer did or didn't do rises to the level of criminal activity? And should they be brought by the Attorney General as well?
That's a great question, Charlie. And, you know, let me say it this way. I think that things are tracking that way, and I'm not going to take that leap as of yet. But as you know very well how things go as discovery continues and testimonies obtained, and we get into their testing records and we start seeing what dangers they knew about and how bad it is, it's tracking that way. Now, see, this company is out of California. I know we say it's a Delaware corporation, that's where they're incorporated, but they do their business out of California. So I don't know what the jurisdiction ability is of the Michigan Attorney General to start charging folks over at Seacrest. But when I say trust me, we're looking at it, we're tracking that way, and whatever we can do to help, we're going to do. Because at the end of the day, Charlie, the most important thing is safety, safety, safety. When I was a young kid, my dad taught me safety first. Safety first when you ride a bicycle. Safety first when you get into an automobile. Safety first when you engage in recreational activities. Safety first should have been the mindset of this company and every single person that we've put onto this lawsuit. And you know what? Not only was safety last, it was a negative. It wasn't even a consideration. It wasn't even on the menu.
Why did you choose to file this in Oakland Circuit Court, given that Seacrest is based in California? Why didn't you opt for the federal court venue?
Well, see, we're going to get into some jurisdictional stuff, right? We don't have what would be considered a federal question, which, you know, you've been in here before. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. That's right. We've interviewed before. Good to see you, Kristen. When we do some of our civil rights cases, you have a federal question, which automatically gets you into federal court. Another requirement is complete diversity of citizenship, meaning that if we only sued a foreign corporation or foreign individuals being outside of Michigan, that would allow us the opportunity to file in federal court. We've elected to file in state court because we have Michigan residents, and at this point there is no federal question that's involved, so state court would be the proper jurisdiction. Yes, sir.
When did you take possession of this? Where is it? And how do you get it while the trial's still going on?
Sure. Well, we entered into what's called a protocol, okay? So there's an agreed protocol that's made and done with the input from all sides. And that took weeks, if not upwards of 2 months to put together, because every side wants a say to ensure the integrity and just like we put the padlocks on the center, everybody wants to make sure that these machines have maintained the integrity, because I'm sure more testing will be done. They are in an evidence locker. They are locked up, and there's no objection, and it's allowable because we did get a court order to do this.
Which court? Circuit court?
Yeah, we got it through the circuit court. Yes?
You mentioned that in the time that Thomas was killed, there was another similar incident elsewhere in the United States. Was it the same manufacturer?
No, it was different, and that's why it's a great question, and that speaks to the need for oversight, the need for regulations on this. I mean, there is so few. I know that Michigan, in the wake of Thomas's passing, has introduced. They have drafted some legislation, which is a good step. I don't think it goes far enough to ensure safety, and there are things that are reasonable that can be done to ensure the safety. But this speaks to the industry, and I don't think that the average American family knows how dangerous these machines are and how fast, in a instant, they can turn into a firebomb.
Is there some reason, is the mother, she was hurt too in this, is there a reason why the mother is not a party to this lawsuit?
She could have a claim for a bystander recovery, and right now we have elected to leave her out, but that's something that is an option that we are aware of, and that could be done if we so decide. She was physically injured, and so she would have as you know, Charlie, have a direct claim as well as a bystander claim. And you know, the family, please understand, this is very, very difficult for them, and the family, you know, we did speak with them, and they respectfully elected not to be here.
It appears you've put the entire industry on notice here today.
It's not the first time I've done that in an industry.
Right. What's your message, though? What's your counsel to maybe patients out there who do get some support from this, or get some help from the bariatric chamber? And now, like,
Sure.
well, what do I do now?
Here, it's a fantastic question. Here's my message. With the billions and billions of dollars that you take from American families, allocate some of that money to safety. Stop putting profits first and put American family safety number one, and then go from there. Profit's good. Making money's good. But at the expense of American families is bad. Stop it. That's the message.
Are you saying that all hyperbaric chambers are dangerous and no one should use them?
That's not what I'm saying, Charlie. Don't put words into my mouth.
Just this one's a secret.
No, what I'm saying is these are dangerous. People need to be warned. Have them designed with the proper safety. Allocate some of the billions of dollars that you make towards safety, except for it, and don't keep an eye solely on shareholders, board of directors, and profits and bottom line. Make things safer. There are things that the FDA has approved for treatment. Make sure that they're being used for that and not some experiment projects on young children and American families. Any other questions? Okay. As we get information and discover evidence, you have my word that I will be providing that to you. And I want to again thank you all for being here. Okay.
Is she recovering? Has she needed
The
surgery?
physical injuries will heal eventually. The emotional injuries will never heal. They're not doing well. I'm a parent of 3, and I can't imagine what they're going through. I've been here at Fieger Law for 26 years. I've represented thousands of families that have died, more families that have died than any other injury combined. And I've never had to sit in their chair talking to me. So I don't know what they're going through. You can't know unless you're sitting there. But what I have learned in my practice and learned from helping people is that an event like this will forever change you. There's nothing we can do to bring them back. There's no justice that can ever be considered perfect justice, because perfect justice would be we win the case and Thomas is playing in the backyard. Okay, thank you, everyone.